Most of us are spending our time praying to God. And what I want to do is I want to share with you something that's going to help you conceptually and practically understand that praying to God isn't actually going to create the experience you desire. That the idea of praying to God is actually flawed. And I'm giving you this advice based on my experiences with studying religion, spirituality, metaphysical sciences, and even just simply studying life. The reason why your prayers are not being answered is because, one, the idea of praying to God ultimately is grounded on the belief that God is something separate from you, that God is something outside of you, that you have to appease, you have to first get God's attention. And if God is something separate from you and God is something essentially separate from everybody, right, and everybody else, that God is not omnipresent, but essentially one thing, one being that is essentially responsible for all of us who have existed, all of us that currently exist, and all that will exist in the future. So there's so many different layers as to why your prayers are not being answered. One, conceptually, you do not feel that you are worthy of the attention of this God that you're praying to, that is outside of you, that is separate from you. And that is grounded in a belief system. That is grounded in an identity as to who you are and what God is. Not to mention who you are versus everything else that you desire and wish to experience in your life. But because you see God as something separate from you, you see that you have to really own the fact that you have to question and you have to answer the question as to your worthiness when it comes to the presence of God being upon you and actually providing you with the prayer, the fulfillment, the materialization of that prayer, of that desire. Now, here's the thing. When we get into metaphysics and we get into really the esoteric understanding of religion, whether it be Christianity, Islam, we really must understand that this wisdom that is shared amongst us, that we all share in some way, which or form, as far as God, as far as Jesus, as far as some kind of prophet or Messiah or messenger who has a intricate and very powerful connection with God. We often see them as special, as different than us. When in fact, what I want you to start questioning and thinking about is them being an example of what essentially you can experience, them being an example of your own potential. Not that it is something far away from you, right? Because sometimes we think about, yes, I could achieve this and I could achieve that, but only if I had this and I was able to do that, am I able to achieve this thing, this state of existence, right? This, what many metaphysical and spiritual people will say, this Christ identity. And again, that is a product of the societal programming that you are, in fact, less than or not quite worthy, right? And so we must get into understanding the first problem is your understanding of what God is, that producing a sense of not feeling worthy of the thing that you are asking for, right? Now, The second thing is very important, because the second thing is first recognizing that the first idea or concept that God is separate from you is false, that it is a lie, that it is a truth that has been taught inappropriately. It is this idea that Christ is someone who is special, that Muhammad is someone who is special, that Siddhartha, the first Buddha, is someone who is special. But in fact, they are not more special than you, okay? What they and have seeked to achieve is teaching you this fact that you are the same as them. You have the same qualities, the same capabilities, the same power as them. So you have to understand that this idea that God is separate from you is a lie, and that you are in fact one with that divine essence. So God is not separate from you, right? God is you. Jesus said, I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than myself. So this gives you an understanding of what I'm talking about. Now, when you come to this understanding or start playing with this idea, what happens is it gets into step 2, which is now you understand why your prayers are not being answered. Because initially, with that fundamental belief that we all was fed and assumed and believed, we question that and we recognize that, oh, God is not outside of us. God is not apart from us. If God is omnipotent, right, all present, that means God is within us as well. And so you start to understand that the reason why your prayers to God are not being answered is because you should not be praying to God. You should be praying from God, okay? You should be praying from the divine that is within you. You see, that's a difference in really the source and acknowledging the source. You've been looking at or seeking power, you've been seeking acknowledgement, you've been seeking approval from a source that, in the way we've been taught to believe in, doesn't exist. Now, yes, we can say God is outside of us, but that is not the source of our power to create. That is not the source of your prayers being fulfilled. That is not the source of your life and how you materialize and manifest the life that you wish to live. You have to get into the fact that the source of God, that God's source that answers all of your prayers, are not outside of you. They are within. They are even more than within. There are you. It is you. And so this is not to say don't pray. This is just to say when you pray, you don't look outside and away. You look within, okay? You channel the understanding, the belief, the feeling, the ownership of that thing you desire. You focus that within and you simply express that outward. That then creates your reality. That then creates and materializes what you hold in the mind, in the heart, in the soul as a reality, and thus materializes it out into this physical world, because the physical world is a byproduct of your mental and spiritual reality. So the first thing, acknowledge that God is not separate from you. The second thing, acknowledge that God is within. Okay? Those are the only 2 steps you need to understand true prayer. Once you start to understand that and play with those concepts, then you recognize that true prayer is a culmination of many things, but it is no longer looking outside of yourself. It is really understanding that prayer is a collection of a few things: what you think, what you feel, especially about what you think, and also what you do. Three things. I call that the Holy Trinity. When you think about, right, what it is that you're doing, right, that can be called the sun. When you understand your emotions, that can be called the Holy Spirit, okay? Then your actions, which is inspired by also the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind, the superconscious mind, that can be called the Father. When you understand and you think about these concepts and this understanding of spirit and prayer and God and you recognize that what Jesus was talking about this whole time is you recognizing that Jesus is not someone different other than you, but that Jesus is in fact you, okay? You are Jesus. What you're looking to obtain and achieve is this Christ consciousness, this Christ understanding as to who you are and what you are here to do, okay? So when you start to really think about this, even if you continue to pray like you have been, you will notice a shift. You will notice things start to change. You would notice simply because you received this message, it has opened up your consciousness. Therefore, even if you don't want to acknowledge it, your prayers will begin to provide you with more answers. They will begin to materialize, and you will start to see how much closer you are to gaining an understanding as to prayer, as to your connection and your ultimate oneness with God, with all there is. And really recognize yourself as the source of your reality and the source of the reality that you wish to materialize and manifest. So just remember, don't pray to God, pray from God. Thank you so much. Peace and abundance always.